Today in class, you're going to make a ceramic pendant vase. For this, we're going to actually cut your slab in half because you will have enough clay today to try to make 2 of these if you have time. So cut your clay perfectly in half, and if you could put 1/2 over to the side. The first thing we're going to do is roll out 1/2 of that clay slab. We want to make gentle, even pressure and go from top to bottom and left to right. The size you want this clay slab is so that it will evenly wrap around the end of your rolling pin. You might have to pick it up off of your quilt square very carefully and then see if you can wrap it around the end of the rolling pin and do the edges touch. Mine is a little short, so I'm going to have to go back and roll it out a little bit more. Pretty quickly, I'm going to try to measure it once again. I want to see if this can easily wrap around with a little bit of overlap. And you'll notice I leave some here at the top because I actually want to scrunch that up and make a closed end. So there, I can overlap one side over the other. So I'm done rolling out this piece of clay. Next, our volunteers will give you a small cup of water. This is going to help you seal that edge and make this one solid piece of clay going all around the end of this rolling pin. Now this can be a little tricky, so take your time. Raise your hand if you need help. It's very important that we make a really good seal here. You might even use your stylus to press down the edges a little bit. For the next part, we want to seal one end of this clay piece. So you'll notice I'm pushing in those edges, getting those together, but I also am trying to not collapse my form. That's why I have a part of my hand inside holding it together. You might also want to leave it on your rolling pin while you try to seal the bottom of this. Once again, if you need help, will you please raise your hand so the volunteer can come over and help you get this done. You can use a little bit of water, the edge of your stylus, just to make sure that bottom part looks like one solid form. For the next part, let's add a little bit of texture and decoration. We have some shared stamps in the classroom. You can pick one and find a spot to put on. Gently press. Notice I still have it on the rolling pin so that I'm not squishing my form down while I'm trying to get this stamp on. It'll be really fun when we glaze to be able to have little pops of color from where we put indentions using stamps, or you can even do your fingerprints, something that makes it unique and your own. Next, let's use the sharp end of our stylus to write our name on the back of our piece. You'll notice that every time I make one little movement, I wipe off the end of my stylus so that it keeps it really clean and neat while I scratch in my letters. The last step we're going to do is add holes so that we can hang these. With the flat end of your stylus, push it into the clay. You'll notice my piece is still on my rolling pin so that I'm not pushing my form in. One side and then all the way to the other side, we're going to do a second hole. And you'll notice I'm not right next to the edge. I have some space between my stylus and the end of the clay. And now you have the 2 holes you need to hang your piece later. Once you're done, gently give your piece to the volunteers and they will place it upside down to dry. And if you have time, you can do a second one. Here are a few pieces made by our Paws Art volunteer team. Hopefully they will inspire you as you make your own creation.